hot with high emotion. So he lowered his voice and spoke gently. Frustrated means getting cross, because I can't make the numbers do what I want. That described every spreadsheet on his laptop. It had been a blessing to escape them for a few minutes, but it also served as a teaching moment. He gave Maisie more of the vocab that had defined his morning. I was angry and annoyed, and really aggravated with my hard sums. With himself as well, for letting his thoughts drift towards someone casual who still took up too much of his headspace. He knelt by the sandpit, using a finger to sketch a letter A on its surface. Angry, annoyed, and aggravated. He drew a letter B next to it, emphasizing the sound each time he spoke it. I was bothered. It really bugged me. It made you cross? Maisie offered, her voice still thick with tears, wobbling. Yes, he said gently. Good thinking, Maisie. Cross is a perfect word for how I felt. Cross at having to stretch not enough cash, and even more cross with himself for still holding a torch for Nathan he knew would only burn him. He sounded out the first letter of the word, pausing before starting to sketch it. Should I write what comes after B, or... I can. She added a shakier letter C to an alphabet Tor didn't want to be left out of. He bounced from foot to foot. The numbers made you angry because they were dumb. Some people might use that word, Tor. Shall I tell you why I try not to? Tor nodded. I try not to because dumb is one of those tricky words with two meanings. It could describe a stupid thing that frustrates me, like my hard sums. But some people use it to describe someone who can't speak. Really? Tor's whole face scrunched again into a frown. Why wouldn't someone speak? His eyes widened. Oh, they might have a poorly face like the Padre. He drew a scar from the corner of his eye to his lips. Perhaps. Or maybe they can't speak because their feelings get in the way and won't let them. Block their throats so they get stuck there. Did you know that feelings can do that? Stop words from coming out even if you want to say them. I call that being non-verbal, not dumb. Tor's forehead creased. Why? Because calling someone who can't talk the same as a word that means stupid can hurt. Here. He touched the center of his chest, poking a spot that had felt increasingly tender the closer it got to Nathan's arrival. He lifted his hand away to point at the letters drawn in the sand. Luckily, we don't need to say dumb because there are so many other words to choose from when we're frustrated. His gaze flicked to Maisie. We can say them instead of shoving our friends. Shout them out loud if that helps us to stop pushing them over. He stood, cupped his hands over his mouth, and did just that. I'm annoyed and bothered and cross and... He winked at Maisie. Down in the dumps. She scraped a D into the sand, and he continued. I'm so exasperated. God, was he ever. And not just about an overdue conversation he'd gone to sleep thinking about and had woken up dreading, but because trying to run a school on wishes and prayers instead of cold hard cash was an uphill battle. You're fed up, Tor shouted, bouncing. That's a Maisie. He sobered, his 5-year-old face hinting at the man who'd emerge one day. I was fed up when you pushed me over, he told his friends, whose eyes welled all over again, her tears spilling. I'm sorry, Tor. And there was another clear clue about Tor's future. He hugged her without reservation, squeezing her like he knew she needed her tires pumped, not deflated. It's